everybody, my name is Old School Nerd, and that wonderful woman right there is Sonia Anubis. A name like that, I guess that makes her legendary. I don't know what's harder for you, Sonia, the fact your last name is Anubis or the fact that you're in an all-female metal band that makes all the bands of the 80s look like children. So it's a lot of weight, don't you think?
I think we're just awesome doing what we do. We need to do it.
You are. Okay, how many people have you talked to doing interviews with COBRASPELL were actually alive in the 80s? Or is it just me? Am I the only old guy?
There's quite a lot of old guys out there. I think they all want to get into our time machine because Cobra Spell is like an 80s time machine.
That's my favorite part. You know, we have so many bands. I mean, as a child of the 80s, I grew up to the I guess the biggest renaissance of metal until now. See, because back then you had Iron Maiden and Slayer and Metallica and Megadeth and all these mega bands. And they all looked the same. Skinny white dudes. They were all, you know, and they all had big hair. They had hair like they were pretty girls, but they weren't. And it was kind of sad. And in the 80s, we only had one heavy metal band that was all female, and that was kind of Vixen. Yeah, Vixen, yeah. But even they were relegated to be, okay, you have to be pretty, but don't show up the boys. And this is your little spot. And then you had in the 80s and 90s, you had Lita Ford, and she played, you know, she was like, I'm going to play like the guys. But that was really about it. I mean, we had Pat Benatar, the great Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, Ann and Nancy Wilson. There were glimmers of the greatness that women could bring to rock and metal. But now it seems like the blinders have been taken off. There's no more walls. Women can do anything the men can do. And I'm so excited because on my channel, I can honestly say that 60% of the bands I react to have at least one female member. Because it's just a different time, and I'm so excited that I'm alive to see it.
But still, the statement that we're doing with Cobra Spell needs to be made because we're not there yet. We're not there yet because the style that we're doing a little bit, it's getting close to shock rock in certain aspects with the lyrics that we have because, you know, we have lyrics that are quite extreme for women to sing on stage. Because it was done by bands such as Wasp, Alice Cooper, Kiss. These were bands that were having quite some extreme lyrics. And this is something that all female or female bands with a female musician in the 80s, was kind of complicated to do because you would get a certain label. You wouldn't get that taken that seriously. And it's still happening in these days. For example, with what we do with Cobra Spell, you get a certain label for singing about certain lyrics or expressing yourself in a certain way visually. And in the glam, it's very much like that. And I think the statement that we're doing with Cobra Spell is important. We need to be out there. And we still need a lot of more female energy in this genre. There's still not...
I agree with you. I was going to preference that by saying there's still a long way to go. But compared to when I was a kid to now, it's a whole new world from my point of view. Granted, there's still a lot of, especially the old guard, because think about what you're playing. You're playing the traditional metal, right? You're playing the metal of the gods, literally, because your last name is Anubis. Being the god of the underworld. The one who takes care of those who have crossed over from the dead into a new life. I guess you're kind of doing that with female metal. Yeah, you're taking the old and you're making it new. My favorite part about that is we see a lot of we see a lot of all female metal bands. I'm shocked at how many of them are thrash metal, not metalcore with maybe a little symphonic. They're there, obviously. But a lot of the all-female metal bands are either really freaking heavy or they're thrash, or in y'all case, it's a new modern take on the 80s classic sound. And I think it's amazing because y'all aren't just piddling around. You're like, let's shock the people. And that's a classic. There's nothing more metal than saying, let's shock the people. And that to me is what COBRASPELL does.
Yeah, and we're like a time machine to go back to the 80s. I have a huge passion for 80s music, and that goes further than just the heavy metal, but also the glam rock, the adult-oriented rock, and even the pop music, the R&B. I have a huge fascination for that decade, also from the aesthetic from back then. You know, the badass cars that they had back then, the movies. There's a lot of cool stuff, and I want to channel that passion into COBRASPELL and make the experience of COBRASPELL as authentic as possible. That when someone puts on the headphones and listens to us, kind of travels back to the 80s and feels like they're living in that moment for that time, even though we're living in 2023. You know, I have to think, which year are we in? But yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the new album. It comes out December 1st, right?
Yes.
I have to ask because it'll get reported that it's coming out on a certain day, and then all of a sudden things get delayed, or the distributor doesn't have them printed, or, you know, luckily y'all's is set for December 1st. It's a very the name of the album is Nothing Dark, it's nothing ominous. What's the name of the album?
666.
Oh yeah, that doesn't have any bad connotations at all. Pretty sure, I believe, growing up in the United States, in the South, super religious area where I grew up, when a certain band came out with an album called The Number of the Beast, I think people's hair caught on fire. So I think it works great. I think it's a great number. I think it's gonna work out well for you.
It's an interesting number.
It's very round number. So explain. Okay, there are a lot of COBRASPELL fans out there already. But my job for this is I want to try to get as many of the 80s Americans that just love that age, because we still to this day, we will sell out an 80s metal band like that here in the US because we just love that era. What can we look forward to on the new album? Since you're a lover of that 80s era, what are some of the influences in that album that we can look forward to?
Well, it's a very melodic album. There's a lot of cool guitar melodies, very catchy choruses. So if you love hook-infused vocals, definitely check it out. There is a lot of groovy riffs. Some songs are more towards the direction of the hard rock, the more groovy, you know, Guns N' Roses like riffs. But you also have a lot of more faster heavy metal speed riffs. Think about Judas Priest, you know, those more traditional heavy metal bands. And for lovers of the more easy melodic songs that are more going to the arena adult-oriented rock, we also have songs in that kind of style. It's a very, you know, very 80s album, very nostalgic sound. With a modern production, the album is produced in a way that is very nice to hear, to listen to, and yeah, it's definitely for the ones that love melody, because the album is just very, very melodic.
I think it's an album designed. It doesn't matter what form of 80s metal you loved, whether it be the traditional big, you know, Dio from the beginning of the 80s, those big classic anthems, to the arena rock, like you said, the speed of Judas Priest, or that melodic end of the 80s Guns N' Roses vibe where everyone was kind of getting pulled into where it was starting to become radio friendly because they were telling stories. So there's a little bit of everything. So whether it be the beginning of the 80s in a traditional to the breakout style of the late 80s, you've got everything in there. Okay,
Yes.
so my reaction that's going to be part of this video after we talk, I'm going to be reacting immediately after to the devil inside of me. Now, as I was setting up to look at this video, it's a story of a woman who is kind of breaking free, starting a new journey in life. Tell us about that.
So the story about this song is about a black sheep, I would say, feeling like a certain black sheep in a certain situation. In this case, in a family where you're put aside because of your different ideals, your different beliefs, that are shocking against the ones from your family. A young girl in this case, and this differences of belief, these differences of ideals are translated in being a rebellious child, a black sheep, and the family puts aside this person because they don't want to be in. They don't know what to do with this child. They feel like we lost this person. This person has the devil inside of himself. This song speaks about this experience and this action that this child, this girl, does. That they are expressed in ways that the family does not understand, but the person just wants to live a free life. This girl just wants to live a free life. She wants to express herself freely. She wants to own her life because she's not doing anything wrong. She's just living her life. And this song speaks about going through that process, going through this situation of getting isolated from the family and feeling like you're in a cage and you need to get out of that cage. And yeah, the devil is inside of me.
You know, it's funny because as a child of the 80s, it really was like that. Growing up in America in the 80s, that metal music was the devil music. Literally, it was called devil music back then. And you couldn't listen to it. If you listened to it, you were punished, grounded, your music was taken away from you. If you wanted to go off and play in a metal band, sometimes to keep the how do you say the air of everything is fine, families would hide it or shun that person, or some young people were kicked out of the house, or you're no longer part of the family. So it's not just a song that you and the members of COBRASPELL have just made up. This really happened a lot in the 80s. So you're telling a real true story. I think a lot of people are going to be able to connect with this song.
Yeah, and it can be translated in different situations too. It doesn't need to be from the family. Maybe it can be from a friend group. Maybe you're kicked out from a friend group because you just have a different opinion, or from a job. This is a subject that can be translated in different situations, and I hope people can relate to it somehow. And yeah, this is the devil inside of me.
Wow. And the thing about it is it may be the devil to some people because of that difference of opinion, but to that other person, it's just their soul. It's just the happiness of their heart. And and wow, now that you just said that, I just realized that the thing that I grew up with in the 80s, what we just talked about, you know, devil music, metal music being that seed of discord and the rift in the 80s is now literally a whole bunch of stuff we see online. Just having an opinion about something they see on the internet could wind up making enemies of friends you've had forever. And it's something that really everyone can relate to.
It's a representation of the person that is labeling you as the devil. Like, oh, you have this opinion that I don't agree with, so you're wrong, you know. And it's the same situation. Oh, you're being so different than me. You probably are the devil. You know what I mean?
And they don't even want to talk about it. And because you have that opinion, we're not going to discuss it. We're not going to try to find common ground. You're just evil. Go away. And
you don't belong here. You don't belong. And that's why I say it's a story about a black sheep.
Yeah.
You're different than the others. And yeah, this is this situation. It's not as extreme. This song is not as extreme as your belief in the devil, so you're out. No, it's not specifically about that story. It's it's a metaphor. It can be translated in situations. There are different situations, as I said. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's heavy. That's deep, and that's going to be amazing to check out. Now, I didn't do a reaction to SEX, and the reason why I didn't do a reaction to that is because I had saw it before I knew who you guys were. Because someone in my community was like, dude, you gotta check this out. And I'm like, okay. So I clicked it and I was like, hello. And
What is going on?
hello. And I was like, hey now. But no, that's an amazing song. That's an amazing video. I'm just you gotta see it to believe it, everybody. So go check that out. But now that you've talked me about this second song, now I'm seeing that, okay, the first song catches everybody's attention for whatever reason that might be. But then this one is like, now wait a minute, there's some serious substance. There's some serious storytelling. There's a heart here. There's a meaning here. So COBRASPELL isn't just about, how do I say this without being offensive? Hot chicks with metal guitars looking sassy. It's more than that. It's way more than that, obviously.
Definitely. Wow.
Yeah,
we're not here to just sell something.
yeah, okay, please, you have to enjoy SEX, that video. Awesome. Enjoy that. Enjoy the hell out of it. Share with your friends. But please come and check out the other ones, because then you're going to realize there's way more to this than just what you see. I mean, it's kind of like you said, we're going to shock the system. We're going to shock the people. But there's a lot more here you need to check out. So, Sonia.
But yeah, the song SEX actually reverses the role of what was back in the 80s normal. You know, back in the 80s, it was dudes being the rock stars and girls being the groupies. You know what I mean? And
that was my favorite part.
this song is making a certain statement, and the statement that I'm making is reversing it on its extreme. You know, sometimes to make a message come through, you need to be a little bit extreme. And I'm a little bit shameless. I like to
no.
I like to be very extreme with what I do. If I want to have a Ferrari on a music video, I will have it there because I want it like that. But I'm very extreme with those kind of things because I just enjoy the aesthetic of it. I love the aesthetic of the 80s,
the indulgence of it.
Yeah, the overstimulating visually.
Decadence.
Yeah. I just love that, and I think women should be able to do that too. When it's men doing it, it's fine, but when it's women doing it, they're just hot chicks looking for attention.
It's my favorite part of living now. There's nothing that a woman can do now that they can't look back and go, yeah, but do you guys look how stupid you guys were back in the 80s? Because literally, when I first saw the video, I was thinking to myself, like, this is awesome for one reason. Most guys from the 80s who were like that have got to go, was I really that much? Was I that bad? Were we like, yes, you were. You were that bad. And that's what you looked like. Yeah, that's what you would look like. And I think it's like, it is over the top. But honestly, in the 80s, everything was movies, TV, music, metal shows. I mean, it was just way over the top. And it was so shocking to people. But granted, some of the stuff you see on videos now would be unviewable in the 80s, because now the morals of the world have kind of gotten kind of crazy. But to see the video was so refreshing in the funniest way, because I could see you guys doing the things you were doing in the video and going, I know a guy named Chris who did that. So they're not doing anything that some dude in 1983 didn't do to some woman. So I thought it was kind of funny and cute, but at the same time, I was like, good for them. That was cool. So, okay, those are just the first two songs. Yeah. Obviously, there are more than two songs on an album that's coming out in just a little over 2 weeks. What can we look forward to on the album coming? That you can tell us. The themes about the songs speak about
women empowerment. They are very empowering for women. We want to inspire a lot. We want to show that we are totally capable and we can do it with a lot of passion. We can execute our music very well. The songs are super glam, super rock. They're very melodic, very uplifting. You can expect a powerful album. It also speaks a lot about a lot of my personal experiences in life. Not just about women empowerment, but also just like stories that maybe you people can relate with, such as That One Side of Me. We have a ballad in this album. There's some a slow song in there. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to spoil anything because I know there's certain things that have to be kept secret. That's how it works. The ballad, is it a heartfelt, reflective song about something in your past? Is it something? It's normally ballads are, but is this something we really need to look for because it's really going to have a special meaning for a lot of people? Because normally that's usually what happens, and if so, I want to look for this thing. December 1st, I'm looking for this ballad.
Yes. So, as I said before, this album is not just money selling album, fun marketing. No, this album features a lot of personal experiences of mine. It's a very personal album. There's a reason why I have tattooed it on my wrists. This ballad speaks about my aunt that took her own life.
Oh.
And I was named after her. Her name was Sonia.
Wow.
And my mother put her name on me to remember her. She took her own life because she was a black sheep. That one side of me. And
wow.
She is in my family, nobody wants to talk about her. It's a taboo to talk about her because she took her own life, and it's something that people want to forget. And as I hold her name, it arises a lot of curiosity from my side to know who she was. And I feel like I hold her karma, which is when you hold someone's name, you hold the stories of this person. And this song speaks about my point of view, my own experience, holding her name, and how I wish that people would talk more about the person she was. Because my mother is the only person that sometimes talks a little bit about her. And she was an interesting person, a very interesting person with a lot of interesting experiences that she had in the past. I will not go too deep into that because it's, of course, a very personal subject. And I can identify a lot in the way she was expressing herself in the past while I never knew her. And this is something that causes a lot of curiosity. And yeah, I wish I could have known her.
Okay. Trying not to get emotional because that hits me when you talk about that stuff because I can hear it in your voice. I can see it. I'm watching you talk about this and I can see your heart swell. And here's the best part about this, okay? I have not heard the song. The album is not out yet. But I want you to know this from someone you've never met before. The way you speak of this, know that even though you've never met her, and your name is who she is, and you know some of the story of her life, know that her name, this story inspired by her, may save someone's life. Because your music is gonna last forever. So this song will be heard by someone, maybe not on December 1st, maybe not for another year or so, but somewhere down the line, her story and your telling of her story is going to make the difference for someone. So her legacy will save others forever. So never forget that. That's beautiful. Something that music can only do. Music is the language that can literally reach someone's heart, even if they have no idea where it comes from. So the person you're named after, the black sheep, may actually wind up healing someone's heart, reaching someone that nobody else can reach, and that may be the difference.
Beautiful words.
Well, it's music, man. You're the one who did it. I think it's amazing.
The power of music is endless, and for me, it was a cathartic process to be able to write this album, to compose this album. Seeing it take shape was a meaningful experience, and I hope the people that listen to it can feel it, can maybe give them a smile, can enjoy. Some people maybe don't understand it. Some people will understand it. It doesn't matter, as long as I can make them and give them a nice time with the music that I make. And yeah, if I can even save a life, that would be incredible, you know. And yeah.
Okay, so now that we're about to start crying, I didn't mean to go. We were supposed to have fun. We were supposed to be like, COBRASPELL! And we're talking about, like, you know, making a difference in people's lives. Okay, so the album comes out December 1st. I did see on the schedule you guys have some tour dates in Europe, specifically in Spain at the beginning of next year. I have no idea what the future holds as far as touring goes. You never know. The album, you never know what'll happen. Next thing you know, they're like demanding you, you know, you never know what comes next. But what are you most looking forward to in the coming year after this album comes out? What are you guys looking forward to?
After the album comes out, I'm definitely totally excited to get it over the stages, to play it on the stages, to have an audience in front of me, and to play the new songs with the girls. We're pumped to get that to happen. At the moment, we're working very hard on booking shows in Europe. It would be amazing. It would be a dream come true if we could go to the United States.
We would love it too. It's so hard. It's so hard to come over here. If you get the opportunity, let us know. We will be there. We will be there ready to just go nuts for you guys.
That's why I'm thankful for platforms like you're offering us, for us to be promoted in the United States, because this helps us a lot to spread the message of our music. So thank you so much for having us on here, and hopefully we can reach out to more people and we can spread out the word of COBRASPELL.
That's my favorite part, is that when I first saw COBRASPELL, and everyone's like, you got to check this out, and I'm like, okay. And then the first video we see is SEX, and I'm like, okay. And then now that you and I have talked, there's a lot more in here that when people see it and they hear it, I really think you're going to find a much bigger following, because you'll get the people that are like, ooh, did you see that? Did you see what they did? Did you see how beautiful they are? Did you see how good they play? Did you see all this other stuff, the existential outside stuff? But then the people that listen to the album see the bigger meanings of these songs, see the bigger story. Those are going to be the people that when you go on tour, when you play these shows that are coming up, you're going to be by the merch table, you're going to be signing someone's CD or selling someone a shirt, and they're going to look at you and they're going to go, I just want to let you know that this song really helped me through a dark time. And when that happens, it's all worth it, because then you're like, it happens. And I look forward to everything you guys have coming up, for you and all the ladies in the band. And if you get a chance to come to the US, please let me know. Absolutely. We will be there 100%.
Thank you so much.
All right, is there anything you want to tell all the COBRASPELL fans out there before we end this little chat? The stage is yours. Say whatever you'd like.
I would say stay very, very, very venomous. Stay wild. Thank you for your amazing support, because we're receiving a lot of support from the United States. We have a lot of very loyal fans out there since the very beginning from the band. We see that glam is very loved in the United States, and it's a dream for us to come there. We are trying very hard to get there. And we're sure there will be a time that we come there. For now, you can support us by listening to our music on the platforms, or even like pre-ordering our album, which is coming out on the
Yes.
1st. Yeah, so do it.
Yeah, seriously, everybody that watches this, I cannot say this enough. If you really want to show the band that you appreciate them, you got to do the pre-saves, the pre-orders, all of those things, because that's what tells Napalm. That's what tells promoters. That's what tell the tour coordinators. And it tells the band, we want more. We need more. And that's what sets the tone, and it helps so much. Sonia, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck, not that you're going to need it, because come on, this stuff is crazy good. So I appreciate your time so much. And everyone, this is the amazing Sonia Anubis. She is the goddess of the underworld. She'll take you on a journey to the other side. Ooh, you should make that a shirt. All right. She's like, yeah, I'm going to get that on. I'm going to get that tattooed on my arm.
I'm actually very sweet and shy. So when I get on that stage, I go crazy.
Light switch. All right, everybody. We talked to Sonia about it. Now it's time to react to it. This is The Devil Inside Me from COBRASPELL, presented by Napalm Records. Okay, I'm literally on a time machine right here, going back to my childhood. Okay, seriously, I want everyone to think about this, okay? Axl Rose steps off the bus. Or, yeah, Welcome to the Jungle. Or The Young Lady from the Small Town for Fallen Angel by Poison. Or Dr. Feelgood from Motley Crue. All the classics from the 80s that told the tale of the trappings of the world and everything else. But at the same time, like Twisted Sister, speaking out against the conformity and just being who you are. This is literally like stepping back into the 80s. Best part is, it's right now. This is COBRASPELL, and I'm pumped. Wow. That was... So that, yeah, check out SCX. All right, so let's get back to this real quick. I want to say thank you to Sonia for spending time with me today. Thank you very much for explaining some of this music to us, giving us a little bit of a sneak peek as to what's coming. And here's the thing. You have to look past the flash. You have to look past some of the glam. Yes, you have to look past the sexiness, the beauty, the power, the metal. You have to look past some of it. I mean, enjoy it, but look past it, realize that there's a much bigger tale being told here. And I'm really looking forward to this album because even though you can have fun and look at some of this stuff the way we used to love just flat out flash power glam metal, this is a deep story. These are songs that are going to touch a lot of us where we live, or at least where we did live when we were younger. And like Sonia said, a lot of these struggles that we all go through are actually echoed now. So some of the songs that she talked about, especially the one that's named after her aunt, who she's named after, yeah, do not be surprised if the ballad of this album that comes out December 1st doesn't have dozens and dozens of people coming up to them at live shows these coming couple years saying, your music helped me in a time when I thought I could not make it and you got me through it. This is the kind of music. Come on, could you imagine back in the 80s looking at a metal band like this and going, this is the band that got me through the hard times? No, man, not in the 80s. It was crazy. But it's now, and this is COBRASPELL. My name is OldSkuleNerd. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And with that, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right there. Big thank you to all my Patreons out there. We appreciate everything you do. If you want more content like this video, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.